suddenly found myself living on autopilot, which for me meant that I was going through the work week, not changing up my routine, and when I made it to the weekend, I would use those 2 to 3 days resetting, recharging, and preparing myself for another work week to come. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loved their job. But ever since leaving the USA to move abroad to Argentina, I have found that I've escaped that autopilot lifestyle and I've actually started to live life again. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 6 things that I started to do ever since I moved abroad. First thing that I stopped doing since I left the USA and moved abroad is actually living a slower lifestyle. And I mean this so seriously because when I was living in the US, I would literally calculate the hours and how long it would take me to do a specific task. Like I was trying to rush through making dinner, or rush through brushing my teeth, or rush through getting ready in the morning. Or if we were out for the day or doing something or shopping, I was like, oh, if this is taking us longer, then I'm going to get back home and I'm only going to have an hour left in my day before I have to go to bed, and I need to get a certain amount of hours of sleep, which in a way isn't an unnormal way of thinking, but I try to rush through so many tasks. I felt like I was just rushing through my days and not really enjoying the activities or the experiences that I was having. Even something simple like rushing through my skincare in the morning, which now I take my time doing my skincare, and it's such a fun part of my day. And I see this so often now when I see content creators in the US talk about slowing down their life. I was the person who would rush through every single task just to try to get it done quickly, and now those small tasks that I try to rush through, or when I'm out on the weekend, I don't try to rush back home. So I actually take my time to enjoy the experience and enjoy the life that I'm living and try to find the joy in the small things. So if you're stuck rushing through all of these small tasks in your day, I recommend that you take a moment to pause and not rush yourself, because you'll find joy in the little things. But who's this little boy? Who's this guy? Center. It's called the Cultural Center of Recoleta, and it's a really nice cultural center. We had to pay 6,000 pesos to get in, which is about $3-ish. And it brings me to my next point that I wanted to talk about, which is how I view coffee, before leaving the USA and after. Now, in the USA, I started to drink coffee the year that I left, and I started to drink it because I was working 50 plus hours a week. I was working my full-time job, and then I picked up a part-time job, and I was teaching extra classes online, and I was like, I cannot continue to live like this. I need some extra energy because the sleep I was getting was just not enough. So I started to drink coffee as a necessity, literally for the caffeine to get me through the day. And I didn't really enjoy a coffee or view it as a beautiful experience, but now living in Argentina, when I go to get a coffee, it is the highlight of my week, not just because I'm going to get a good flavor, I'm going to get it from a good place, but because I'm likely going to sit down in a coffee shop, read, do something, enjoy the experience, hang out with a friend, literally enjoy that experience. So that has shaped my perspective so much since leaving the USA. I view small moments as experiences that I really love experiencing. And something as simple as going to a coffee shop, getting a coffee, not taking it to go, that's like the big thing that I really don't get coffees to go except if I'm going to a Starbucks.
Mine's Max and Polka in a pay-per-view boxing match. Can you see it?
Another thing that I started to do is be outside more. Since living abroad in the US, I kind of spent most of my days inside. Now, to be fair, New York winters aren't the greatest, and sometimes winters can last between like November up until March if it's a really bad winter season. Weather does play a bigger factor, and where I'm at right now, it doesn't get colder than like 45 degrees and it doesn't snow where I am. So that does play a huge role, but being outside is so good for my mental health. It's so good for my overall well-being. It gives me so much natural energy. Like, I feel so much more happier being outside. And maybe some of my unhappiness in the US was a result of me being inside a lot. There's more to life than just the four walls of your bedroom or the four walls of your house. And also in the US, I say this a lot, I had a car, I drove almost everywhere, and I didn't live in like a super walkable city, but here I live in a much more walkable city. So another thing that I also do is get more steps naturally. I'm much more naturally active, and in the US, like I ran cross country and track growing up, I went to the gym consistently, even as I entered like my adult phase of life. And here I still do that, but it's simple things like walking to the store, walking to the coffee shop, or even walking to the gym that I do. So my step count is higher naturally, and I'm much more active overall. So all of this kind of plays into how I feel overall, how my body feels, like how I feel mentally, and it's just so many good things. I was such an introvert and homebody in the US, and I still am now, but to a different degree. Like, I love being home, I love a cozy morning, I love sleeping in like everyone else does. I love those days where you just stay in bed and don't do much, but I have far less of those days now because there's so much more to do, and I'm so much more excited to do so many other things, and I think that's beautiful. Also, if you're in Buenos Aires, they say that this top of the cultural center is the best sunset in the city. I have not experienced a sunset here. I definitely should, but if you're looking for a good place to experience a sunset, especially now in summer, check this out. So my first rating on the carne, the Tucumana one, is, I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. One thing I really like about the empanadas tucumanas is the dough. I like that floury feeling from the dough. And the meat is obviously very good as well. Now we're gonna try the pollo one, the chicken one. I don't think it's the best chicken empanada that I've ever had. I think the flavor is kind of light, And I feel like when I normally taste a chicken empanada from here, I feel like the chicken is cut so thickly and it's seasoned very well. And I just feel like something is lacking with this. I would give this a 5, and again, the carne tucumana one I would give an 8.5.
I give both an 8.5. They're both really good.
I think each empanada costed us 3,200 pesos, which is a little over $2 for each one, but it's good. It's in a nice little place in Recoleta, so I'd recommend. And this place is called La Lanita, which in English it translates to the little firewood. So, not too bad. For this part of the video, you might see my cat Polka walking around and hanging out with us. She is an 8-year-old Bengal cat, and we adopted her in New York, and she moved abroad with us from New York to Argentina. And because she's a Bengal cat, we actually had to make sure that countries we were interested in accepted Bengal cats, because not all countries do. So, fun fact about Polka, we did just get back from the empanada place. We're home now, and I wanted to talk about food. In the US, you are eating so much processed things. In the US, I talk a lot about my lack of energy. I do believe, looking back on all of this, that the food I ate might have played a role in that, because I had a balanced diet, but overall, I was not eating as many fruits and vegetables, stuff made from scratch, like homemade things like I am now. The amount of fruit that I'm eating here while living abroad, the quality of the produce, I'm making more things from scratch. We make more things from scratch in the house. The ingredients that we use overall aren't really processed at all. Like, we go to the butcher, we go to the fruit stand. Like, we're not just going to Walmart or Target and doing our whole grocery run just based on what we find in those aisles. So I do firmly believe that once I moved abroad, my energy levels shifted, not fully based on the food that I eat, but I do believe that it played a huge role. So since moving abroad, with that being said, I started eating healthier. Argentina or Buenos Aires would consider to be top 3 pizzerias in the city. This is called La Mezzetta, and we've tried it a few times, but I feel like the recipe consistently changes. It is currently Tuesday at 2 p.m., which it's been 2 days since I've checked in, and unfortunately I did not have the strongest start to my work week, and yesterday was not a good day for me. I did not pick up the camera, but today I wanted to talk about something that I started to do since moving abroad, which is kind of contrary to US ideology, which is having that grind set mindset when it comes to work. Like, you have to keep grinding, you have to keep going, you have to push through, you have to do more. My work life consumed me in the US, and I was literally doing stuff that I loved and studied for, and I wanted to do it, and I was pursuing my life dreams. But I was unprepared, really, for how much energy you have to put into a full-time job. And then I told you guys I was doing a part-time gig, and I started my own thing, and it just ended up being a lot. And I think I just did too much too soon. And again, I love my job. I still love what I do. But I'm trying to be more intentional with my work-life balance while living abroad, because in most countries outside of the US, they have a better work-life balance. Your work does not define you. What you do does not define you. Your salary does not define you, and there is an emphasis and a priority on living life. So one thing that I started to do, and it's really important for me throughout the work week, is to take pauses and breaks throughout the work week, and not just like lunch and counting that as the bare minimum, like, oh, I didn't work through lunch. No, I mean like taking 20 minutes throughout my day and making a coffee, or sitting outside, or taking in the natural sunlight, walking my dog, taking myself out on a walk, doing something for myself throughout the workday, especially when I feel that stress and deadlines are creeping up, because when I work through that, it can be like a not good cycle. And I know for me and my mental health, taking breaks is a necessity. And just to put it out there, I still love what I do. I love my jobs. I work in education. I'm a teacher. I'm a curriculum coordinator, and I absolutely love it. It's everything I've always wanted to do. But even living your dream life can have its own stresses occur. So I know I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful, but taking these breaks throughout the day, specifically the work week, has helped me a ton in staying true to my work-life boundaries. So if you don't do that, and if you work from home, please try to implement and create one boundary that you follow through, whether that's not working through lunch or not answering emails after 6 p.m. Literally just set a boundary and try to stick with it. These are a few things that I've implemented and started to do since leaving the USA, and overall these are things that make me happier. They make me more excited to live life. They keep me from entering that autopilot lifestyle where it's just the 3 or 4 or 5 things that you do every single day and you don't do anything else. If you are interested in living abroad content, or if you're just trying to escape your routine autopilot lifestyle, I recommend that you subscribe and you stick around. And I'm so happy that you are here with me today. Leave me a comment down below. I really love chatting with you guys down in the comment section. And with all that being said, I will see you in the next one.